pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding.
You see performances now and then. You see really good ones, right? You see something that's, wow, that was great. And then you see some that you just go, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? And that was kind of what we watched yesterday. Yeah, like Jimmy Butler against, who they beating around? Against Milwaukee. Like that was, wow, this is pretty insane. But what you watched with Steph Curry yesterday in an elimination game, with a group that many of you probably thought were done, right? This was going to be the Kings. This was Sacramento's year, and the old guys are done and pass the torch and let the Lakers take their shot at the young Kings. It was going to be the King against the Kings. And well, easy. Because Steph went historic for you last night. Yesterday afternoon. Steph went historic in a way that was very few people of his size have taken over games like that. If you want to go over through history, and you want to go through the greats who take over games, and you say Michael Jordan, you say LeBron James, you say Magic Johnson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Larry Bird, or pick them, right? Very few of them are Steph's size. He went for 50. You know what nobody in the history of the game has ever done before? Gone for 50 in Game 7 of a playoff series. Not LeBron, not Michael, not Magic, not Bird, not Bill Russell, not Wilt, nobody. He did something last night that that old guy that some of you thought was over the hill has gone from, is he the old guy to is he the GOAT? Now, I don't know that many of you think he's the GOAT, but boy, that was one of the best performances we've seen in a long, long time. Good morning to you and merry Monday, coming off a weekend full of draft and excitement and disappointment and all kinds of crazy stuff. Hockey playoffs were great. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Steph's in for A. Marie. How y'all living?
What it do?
Good morning, Steph.
Good morning, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
having me. It's always a pleasant surprise. I walk in. Whoa, there's Steph.
Yay.
Yeah, I never know. It's kind of nice.
Thank you.
Good to see you. How was your weekend?
It was great.
Good. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Good. Sure, hers was great. So she wins on that one. All right, that was good. Did I over hyperbolize on Steph?
No, because well past time that Steph Curry's in that conversation of not just, oh, the dude can shoot a 3-point shot and he changed the game. This is awesome. Isn't that cool? Spacing in basketball is important to he's one of the best clutch performers of all time. The dude has done it on the biggest stage. He's won NBA championships. We've got a team that was terrible on the road this season, and that carried over into the playoffs. And then it's Game 7 on the road. They're underdogs, and they blow the doors off the Sacramento Kings because of what Steph Curry is going to do. And for him still, at this point in his career, and he's not Kevin Durant. He can't get a shot off over everybody. He's not still physically imposing, even like a 38-year-old LeBron James. But he's unstoppable offensively. 7 3-pointers, the efficiency, unbelievable. And the debate is there. I think that it's going to be hard for some, just looking at Steph, to realize that, yeah, that dude deserves to be in the conversation. Like, I don't think we're going to immediately jump him to the top, but this is one of the best basketball players of all time.
Period.
No doubt.
Period. And I've always contended, and I know that the other side of the argument is a legit one, that I've always contended that because of his lack of size, his lack of power, he can't do what Magic did back in the day when Magic was a 6'9" point guard, where the rest of them were 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". He can't do what LeBron does at 6'8", 250, and just back his way and be a physical presence. Now, you can tell me, and the other side of the argument is, well, that's what makes those guys so great, and I buy that. I think that's right. There's an element to that. But from where I sit, that's always been so much more impressive about him is that he doesn't have just that physical prowess, right? You can't just back him down. You can't. And the please, if you're still holding on to the myth that, yeah, he's just a great shooter, as JJ said, stop, please. Did you see him get to the rim? Now, I know he took a lot of shots. Somebody's going to come in, and I think I know who it might be. And this was the old Kobe argument. Well, yeah, Jeff, he took 38 shots. You know what, though, yesterday? He had to. You know why? Because Klay Thompson was 4 of 19. And Anthony Wiggins was 5 of 16. So nobody else was doing it for them yesterday. Well, Jeff, I mean, the ball was always in his hands. They couldn't. 19 shots. Klay hit some big ones. I'll give him that. He hit 2 really big ones.
Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, and Andrew Wiggins were 12 for 44.
Okay, so that's why he took 38 shots.
And he hit 20 of them.
And he hit 20 of them. Yeah. 7 of 18 from 3-point. There's no downside to what he did. Oh, and by the way, the ball was in his hand all day. He had 1 turnover. Yeah, that's where I was going. The ball was in his hand all day. He had 1 turnover. Yeah, he had 6 assists. He had 8 rebounds. When we start talking about it, we always get hyperbolic on the latest is the greatest. I don't know that this is the greatest performance I've ever seen, but statistically, when it comes to scoring, in Game 7s, and what's the greatest thing in sports, JJ? What are the greatest 2 words in sports? Games.
There's no, like, if you come in here and you have any problem with the amount of shots he took, and the dude shot 52% on said shots, you don't have an argument.
So I don't want to get into this whole conversation. You know how much I despise the LeBron Michael talk, right? I just everyone, whoever you are, you're dug in your lane, and that's fine. That's cool, and I that's fine. And I don't know that I think he should be in the LeBron Michael talk. But whatever's after that, he probably needs to be in that, doesn't he?
I think it's one where I'd put him past Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard.
What about
and
Kobe? Is he in the Kobe conversation? I know that's sacrilege for a lot of people, and the late great Kobe Bean Bryant, and I love Kobe Bryant. Is he in that conversation? He's got to be, right?
I think he'd have to be like a good contender to start edging his way into that realm, because
I don't know how he's not.
Those realms are like for those who have just made a difference within their time. Like no one's gonna do it, like you said. No one's done it yet, so he's the first. So he's got to have some kind of status now.
Well, I think he should have had status for a long time, but I think because of his stature.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
his
yeah.
Slight stature. I think people have always kind of
dismissed
downplayed his greatness. JJ, if they win this year, he's got 5. Now I don't know that they're going to win. They got to
Even
get
last
through the
year
Lakers.
was like, oh my goodness. where
Right.
did this
Last
come
year was last year was the one that elevated him to this level. So Steph, to your point, I always thought he was there, but when they came back from the dead last year, right? They had 2 years of they were irrelevant, right? Steph was hurt, and everybody else. I mean, not Steph. Klay Thompson was hurt, and they were irrelevant, right? I mean, essentially for those 2 years, they were relevant. They came back last year. They won the whole damn thing, and to me, that put him in that stature. But I'm listening to you today. At 505-246-0610. That's the text line. It's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is. I mean, what more does this guy got to do to not just be considered, as Stephen A. Smith called him yesterday, one of the greatest or the greatest point guard ever? I think that's too limiting. I think that's too much of a box. I mean, he's one of the best players we've ever seen. Period.
Yes. I'm right there with you because this is the last 15, 20 years of the Kobe Bryant era with LeBron. We've seen what Kevin Durant can do. Kawhi Leonard snuck in there because of his performances in San Antonio, winning a championship in Toronto. Just watching these guys and going, man, this could be the best in the game. Steph is right there. And to me, it's not crazy if you want to say, Steph is better than those guys. And Steph could be number 2 or number 3, depending on where you want to put Kobe in this era of, because he was on the court winning championships in the 2000s as well, because the numbers back it up. The performances on the biggest stage back it up. And this is a guy too, by the way, 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Done.
averaged 33 points in that series. His effective field goal percentage overall, 58%, which is the best number
Period.
he's had since 2016-17. So his second best effective field goal percentage so far in a postseason series. Dude is unbelievable.
Do you think his stature, right, being small, right? So he doesn't dominate. He doesn't we always think of the dunks and the physical. Even Jimmy Butler, to that matter, right? You look at him and just go, damn, look at that dude. He's an Adonis, right? Mike was long, lanky, had this insane athletic ability. So did Kobe. Magic was this tall point guard who could back down guards but still could shoot and run the floor. Obviously, what LeBron is. Do you think his stature plays against him in these arguments when people start saying, "Well, he can't be the best"?
Yeah, because it's this. Think about the guards of the era from Steve Nash and then everyone after the fact going, I don't know if he was really a 2-time MVP.
Yeah, he still didn't win the
NBA championships, or someone like Allen Iverson, like guys that you put into a category and are like, oh yeah, these are nice players, these are good scorers, but we never talk about like legit most dominant player in the game. And that's what Steph Curry did yesterday to the Sacramento Kings. And not only did he hit 7 3-point shots, but 13 of those shots came inside the arc. Hitting the floaters, getting in the basket, cutting off the basketball.
And then throw longevity into it, please. How long he's done it? Like how long he's done it? He came in I think it was a number 8 overall pick. Does that sound right? Out of Davis.
First season was 2009.
Okay, so we've been doing this for 14 seasons, right? And he's won 4 championships. He's been the catalyst. You can tell me, well, I mean, they had Durant. I don't know. Didn't they win before Durant? Oh yeah, they did. Didn't they win after Durant? Yeah, they did. Was he finally last year got the MVP of the finals? So you can check that off the resume. You can't hold that against him. And what's the one thing we always go to when we have these conversations about who's the best? What's the decider? It doesn't matter when we're talking about quarterbacks or basketball players. What do we talk about? Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't it go to rings? Dude's got 4. I don't know, man. I'm not telling you he's the best ever. I'm telling you, he's got to be in that conversation. If you want to tell me he's not Michael or LeBron, okay. But on that next shelf, and look, I'm not looking to be sacrilege. I'm not looking to piss you off. But in that, when there's and whether it's Bird, Magic, Kobe, who you got in that next level, right? This is where we're gonna have this. You can't compare Bill Russell or Shaq to Steph, right? They're different players. We're having this conversation, man. This dude has earned his way in. We have so much on the table for you today. So much. We got to get through the draft. Jarek Reed gets selected by Seattle. The two local Aztecs are free agents and going into the NFL. We've got the whole draft to go through. The PGA Pros are in town. United played. Something happened yesterday, too, that was just insane. When we come back, what if I told you the defending champions and the historical best team ever got knocked out of the playoffs in the first round on the same day? That happened. What the impact of that is next. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
Jimmy Butler standing in the corner, still demanding all the attention. Couldn't move, just standing and practicing his shot. Like just going through the motion, ducktailing in the corner on a sprained ankle because he couldn't move. As the Heat went into Madison Square Garden, when are you going to start believing in the Heat? I mean, all they did was knock off the number one seed. Now everybody's telling you, yeah, but they don't have enough to beat the Knicks. Really? I mean, they just went into Madison Square Garden and took game 1, 108-101.
You got to stop listening to New York people all the time, Jeff.
Well, it's all New York people. Jalen Brunson's really good. And I like R.J. Barrett a lot. But after that, with Julius Randle with the injured ankle, which he's rolled twice, who else do you trust on the Knicks to get things done regularly in the playoffs?
No Julius Randle.
Right.
You knew that in game 1, it wouldn't be crazy for Miami to go in there and win that game. And it's because their veteran players, out of nowhere, have turned back the clock. When you're getting Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love to contribute.
Contribute? I mean, Kyle Lowry, and the stats don't tell the story what Kyle Lowry did, his presence in the fourth quarter. He had 18 points and 5 rebounds and 6 assists. But Kyle Lowry was the captain up there. He was driving that ship. Where'd that come from?
That's the classic, veteran struggles during the regular season, probably doesn't have much left in the tank. Postseason, he can turn back the clock a little bit. And Eric Spoelstra, what he did in the Milwaukee series, because they needed size. They're small.
They are small.
And he put Kevin Love in the starting lineup, and Kevin Love has produced.
Kevin Love, so the numbers aren't going to tell you how great he's been. Defensively, he's been very good. I mean, he had 9 points. He had 5 rebounds, didn't turn the ball over, and played 16 minutes. So it's not like he was doing a ton of stuff. But when he's in there, he's a difference maker. He's won a championship. I told you this. I may have told – I don't know when I said it. Was it going into the playoffs? Was it going into the playoffs last year? Whenever it is. There's a different grit to Miami in the postseason, right? There's a nastiness to Miami. There's a championship – bleep you mentality to Miami. And I don't know where it starts. I don't know if it starts with Jimmy Butler. I got to believe it starts with Pat Riley, their general manager, and with Kevin Spoelstra, their coach, who, by the way, again, and I'll tell you this again, is one of the most underrated coaches in the history of the National Basketball Association. Like ever. And I think he's the dean of coaches after Pop, right? Popovich has been there forever, and then it's got to be him. He's got to be the longest tenured, and he still looks like he's 25. Like, God bless him, right? He's got to be living a life down in Miami. But there's a grit to them. And do you disagree with me on him as being just the most underrated coach ever?
No, because of what he's gone through, and for a lot of people, Spoelstra is not going to get the credit initially because you're like, oh, it's LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. And I think that's why this Heat team, the kind of second era of Eric Spoelstra's career, people don't appreciate it, or people might not be as attracted to it because it was the hype, it was the buzz, it was the Heatles, the run they went on, the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals. And it's fascinating watching this Heat team because it feels like Miami probably likes this team more, if that's possible.
What do you mean, like the city of?
Like the grit and the Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
as opposed to when the team was actually winning championships. Even with Dwayne Wade there. I think 'cause Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade mean more to Miami than LeBron James.
Well, Dwayne Wade certainly, and I think Jimmy Butler because he wants to be there in long term. And so do you know he's been coaching? When do you think he started? Eric Spoelstra took over the Miami Heat as head coach.
It's like 08?
08, 09. So is that when you told me Steph got there too? He's been with Miami since 97, 98 as an assistant coach. So, I mean, the dude's been there for 26, 7 years. How old is this man? How old do you think he is?
Spoelstra?
He looks like he's right in his like young 30s and
like 53,
52 years old and 181 days. So you're close. November 1st. I mean, I'm just to be exact, Steph. I don't want to give out any irregularities. All right, I told you going into the break. I did a little. What if I told you the defending champions and the team with the historic best record in the history of the National Hockey, of the league, and I was talking National Hockey League, got knocked out in the first round on the same day in Game 7s, and that happened last night. So I know a lot of you are not hockey fans, but I need to put something in perspective, just from a sports fan perspective for you. Is that fair? Even if you're not a hockey fan, don't you think what happened with the Boston Bruins is sports historical?
Yes.
Important.
Because of how they lost that series and how dominant, the most dominant regular season team ever.
All right. So in hockey, it's like it's points, right? It's kind of the soccer model or the hockey model. You get points, 3 for a win, and then you get 1 for an overtime loss. In hockey, it's not because they don't have draws anymore. They have shootout losses and overtime losses. The Boston Bruins were the historical best team, like dominant, the best team we've ever seen in the history of the NHL, right?
They were.
Numbers don't lie. They were going on a run. They played a Florida Panthers team in the first round of the playoffs who had to win their last few games to get into the postseason. And the Bruins went up 3-2 in the third period yesterday, and this thing was over. Everybody was on their feet. They were up 3-2. Panthers pulled their goalie. It was in TD Garden in Boston. The place was going nuts, and Boston scores with about Florida scores with about 58 seconds to go and put it in overtime. The place is stunned. And in overtime, Addie and I were watching this, and kind of was telling her the story. Florida dominated. Florida was buzzing. I'm watching this. I'm like, at some point, something's going to chip through because they were getting shots. They were dominating the puck. And at 8:35 in, Carter Verhaeghe scores, and the Panthers, this team that barely got in the playoffs, knocked out the best team in the history of the National Hockey League in the first round of the playoffs. And this is historically stunning.
Yeah, it was game 2 that Florida got up to a 2-0 lead. Boston comes back, takes a 3-2 lead, gives up the game time goal with a minute left in the third period, and they could not recover. They could not reset.
It was amazing.
Heading into overtime.
Well, I didn't hear any of the Boston post game. Did you? But everybody was stunned. I think Florida was stunned. Like even the Florida guys were stunned, right? They were like, I can't believe we just did this. Like the talent they have over there is unbelievable. This is Matthew Tkachuk, who was screening on that winning goal. He says they're unbelievable. What they have, what they're able to do, what we did after what they did all year, the fact that we're able to beat them in the playoffs is crazy. Like the team who won is sitting there going, wow, I mean, how the hell did we just beat them? That's how incredible this is. When the 8 just beat the 1 in Miami beating Milwaukee, you went to Jimmy Butler's like, yeah, we expected to win, right? That was the number 1 overall seed, the best team in the NBA. Hockey, this team's just going, how the hell did we just beat them? Like I had my golf clubs out, and I got to go to Toronto?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Toronto, Florida, heck of a second round series because Toronto finally won playoff series first time since 2004.
Yeah, which is a big deal up there. The other one, the other side of this was the defending Stanley Cup champions. The Avalanche Game 7 at home. They forced Game 7 by winning in Seattle the other day, and the Kraken win 2-1 yesterday. Seattle, this is different to me because A, Seattle's nice, and B, the Avalanche were so beat up, so injured. Like, this one didn't surprise me. I thought Seattle was going to win in Game 6 when the Avs went up and beat them there. I came back and thought, all right, well, maybe you survive this one, but Seattle's nice.
For the Colorado Avalanche, they were devastated with injuries. They had an off-ice issue, lose one of their top 6 forwards in the postseason, and people still don't know what's going on with that incident. Philip Grubauer, the goaltender for Seattle, former Colorado Avalanche goaltender, was the best player in the series, and Seattle outplayed Colorado the majority of the series. They won 3 games, 3 of the 4 games in Colorado, and it's just a numbers game for the Avalanche. Their top 6 forwards, well, their top line was fantastic, but they had nothing outside of that, and their top guys ran out of gas. Grubauer was fantastic, the amount of shot that he stopped. And really, we're looking at this series, it was, if the Avs got out of the first round, that's cool. They're not a championship team right now because of the injuries, because of the depth questions, and Seattle played this perfectly. They were rolling 4 lines all throughout yesterday.
Look at Edmonton next.
They scored first in every game in the series.
They play Edmonton?
They do.
Yeah.
No, they play Dallas.
They go Dallas.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's Edmonton, Las Vegas take the over.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Whatever that's going to be in those games. And then it's Dallas, Seattle.
Edmonton eliminated the Kings on Saturday night, which was a bummer too. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, let's get through the draft. Local guys going, who's going where, what it means, and I'll tell you why I think Jarek Reed is in the perfect spot. Some of you thought, maybe he'd be better being a free agent and picking a spot. Tell you why, I don't know that I think he could have picked a better spot than where he got drafted. That's next. It's the opening drive. Jarek Reed, of course, the former Lobo safety who got drafted by Seattle. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by the New Mexico.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western.
So how much of the draft did you watch? Like, when did you stop kind of just staring at it? NFL draft over the weekend.
Friday night.
All right, so you watched the first 3 rounds? Okay.
I started to turn my focus, and it was mainly just DraftCast stuff on the phone.
Okay. A lot of New Mexico Bowl alum, a lot of one UNM alum, and some local guys getting an opportunity to go play in the National Football League. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Amory's out today. Steph is in for Amory. Are you in all week, or how long are you here for?
What's your deal?
All I knew was today. Yeah,
Right.
I have no idea.
All right, you can do clean feed
But
if you
I'm
need
up
to,
for
right?
anything.
I mean, you can do clean feed, you know. All right, we'll figure that out. If I'm away, like if
Oh,
I have
of
to
course,
do the show
yes.
remote, okay. So if I asked you what stood out in the draft, if was there something, whether it was local, whether it was overall, whether it was a team, what just jumps off the page to you?
It's kind of just like, where do you want to start? Like, what team do you want to talk about? Because there's so many storylines in this. I've kind of reassessing what Detroit did after the fact, because I think we both were when they picked Jamar Gibbs, we're like, okay, let's see what happens, and then they make the move, trade DeAndre Swift to Philadelphia for a future 4th-round pick. I think that they came back and made some nice selections after the fact, especially I like.
Do you like where Will Levis went?
Getting Brian Branch,
yes,
an Alabama safety,
yes,
in the 2nd round. Will Levis, Tennessee, in the 2nd round, when we were sitting there thinking that could be their 1st-round pick at 11, and they wait on him, and that was the team that everyone said, all right, started the 2nd round. If someone's going to move up a few spots and grab Will Levis, it is the Tennessee Titans. And they had to do something because they are not sold on Malik Willis, and that's evident.
And they shouldn't
but
be.
they've
And they shouldn't.
They just, even with just a few games and seeing him in the facility for a year, they're like, yeah, we don't believe in this guy. Ryan Tannehill's 35 in the last year of his contract. They needed to get someone else in there. And speaking of the Lions as well, getting your boy Hendon Hooker.
So one pick before the Rams, I think the Rams would have taken him. Hendon, I was a little surprised the Lions went there, but not totally. They've got Jared Goff. They're going to have
3rd round, so
it was high.
They're able to wait on him.
So did you think that? Because didn't you think the Rams would have taken him with the next pick? considering they took Stetson
Probably.
Bennett in the 4th?
Because it, consensus top 5 quarterback, and then after that it was, all right, let's wait and see which one of these guys we're going to grab.
Where'd Jake Haener end up?
He was the next quarterback selection in the 4th round. Fresno State. Derek Carr, Jake Haener in New Orleans.
That's where he went. That's right. I knew that. It's actually really interesting that you got 2 Fresno State guys down there. That's what. And then the Rams go to Stetson Bennett. Jarek Reed going in the 6th round to Seattle. So can I tell you why I think that is such a good spot for him? And I know he was thinking he was going to be a free agent. He was kind of bummed. You read the story, and I think he's going to be in with us at some point this week. He's got obviously super busy day to day. Monday traveling and all the stuff that he's got. But JJ's been in touch with him. I want you to go back and look at the construction of the Legion of Boom and how they were constructed and where, what is Pete Carroll? There's a lot of things he's known for in the NFL, but the construction of that roster has been mid guys, right? 3, 4, 5, 6 round guys, right?
Yeah, they know what they're doing
100%
in Seattle developing defenders.
And so when they called him and said, hey, we're going to bring you in as a free agent. And then he gets the next call back and they said, hey, you're a Seahawk. We're drafting you right now. And him going through that big emotion swing and the whole deal, good for him. All right. I really, really, really like Jarek Reed, right? The time we've spent with Jarek Reed, like, this is a young man that's hard not to like. Worked his backside off and got to this point. But I when I saw where it was and I kind of looked down their roster and I looked through their draft, he's got a real chance. He's got a real chance to stick there. They need help in the secondary. He's watching safeties go off the board and thinking, I'm as good as that guy. I'm better than that guy. And now he's going to a place where it's proven. You've got a coach and a coaching staff who will allow you. They don't give a damn if you're the 2nd round pick or the free agent guy. If you go in and perform, and they've proven that over the years, he's got a chance to have a career there.
Absolutely. And like any late round pick, it's always going to be a challenge. You got to do just a little bit more. Special teams, you got to be a standout. And it's interesting too, the fact that they could use him at nickel. And so that will be something to watch for Jarek Reed. Just finding a way to get on the field because they got their top 2 corners locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Woolen, a guy that they landed last year, mid-round in the draft. They took a corner, Witherspoon out of Illinois with a number 5 pick. So it's special teams. It's, hey, can you find a nickel role? Do what you got to do. Try to get yourself on the field.
And there could be a veteran in there that you just outplay and out-earn, right? This is, veterans have told me this over the years, and it's guys that, not the star guys, not the multi-million-dollar guys, but the guys who are, 40th on the roster, the 2nd string corner. Those are the guys who watch the draft, right? The 2nd string safety. Those are the guys, because these are the guys who are coming to try to take your job now. There's no guarantee in the NFL. And as we hear all the time, there's no guaranteed money. But those are the guys. There's a lot of. I don't know that people realize this, JJ. How many guys in the NFL have 1, 2, 3 year careers?
Well, isn't the average
it's like
3.3 years or something?
3.1, 3.2, something like that. Yeah. That's the average, because most guys aren't great. They're good. And then the next young guy comes in and hell, you get an injury and they got a fresh guy. They don't need you. They don't need, and one thing I know for certain, if you play in the NFL, you're going to get injured. One thing I know for sure, you play in the NFL at some point, you're going to get injured. And that's where opportunity comes. And so I think this is a great spot for him. Jordan going to Jordan Byrd, the former Manzano Monarch who played collegiately at San Diego State. Free agent deal with the Steelers. Really interesting situation there. They're going to look at him as a returner, certainly, because he was an all-conference returner. You can't teach speed. And I think there's a little bit more to it. I think Jordan's proven at times he can run through the tackles. Now, between the tackles, I don't know how that works in the NFL for him. But he can catch the ball in the backfield, and he does have elite speed, and he can run away from dudes. Now, in this league, everybody's got speed. Everybody's fast. But I think he's got an opportunity. I don't hate where he's going in Pittsburgh.
No, you said it's an opportunity, and if you look at the Steelers, their history of returners, they'll have guys that might be undersized but are fast, and they'll use them. So he kind of fits a mold of players that they've used in the punt return game before, smaller guys that they keep on the roster. And if he just shows one or two in rookie camp, pops a couple, that's how you get your chance to stick around over the summer.
Yeah, so he's got a chance. And then Keyshawn Banks, a Rio Rancho guy, is going to go to Green Bay and have an opportunity to make that team on the defense, and that's a club that needed help defensively, right? And here's a guy that is going to work, had a terrific collegiate career at San Diego State, and so you got some more local guys that you can really watch, and hopefully we'll get a word with this week. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. That's area code 505-246-0610. It's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also the Sports Animal text line. You can email the Sports Animal, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. And as almost every day, you can watch the show. We're on ProView Networks. Adrian's producing there. Our Facebook page will have that live. The OD in the AM. That's our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Comcast Channel 26, if you have Comcast throughout the state of New Mexico, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Network. I want to get more into the draft. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at some point. I just heard from Danny. They got a big night. It's the night of champions. You know that? Out at UNM tonight. That's, Steph, if you've never seen this, and they're going to do it in the brand new weight room, it's when they set records for weightlifting. So this is the kind of the end of the off season or this part of the weight training program. And so they all get together, and it's a bunch of dudes just pushing around tons of metal. And it's a big competition.
I remember that from, I guess, last year. Gosh, it
yeah,
just
they brought it
seems
back
like
last
it's
year.
So
Yesterday?
it was just like, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Man, the time flies.
Yeah, it's not getting any slower. This was a tradition back in when Rocky Long was first here, and Danny's brought it back. And so Night of Champions is tonight, so they got a big deal. And I'd love to hear what Danny has to say about where Jarek Reed landed. And I mean, he knows he was at San Diego State. He knows Jordan Bird and Keyshawn Banks pretty well. He's the guy who's responsible for getting those guys there, right? So I think at 8 o'clock, but I'm working on Danny in the 8 o'clock hour, and we'll talk to him at some point. When we come back, so let's go through the quarterbacks and who hit it in the draft and who took a swing and I don't know
Just
about
bit
the
outside.
fourth round. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get one run back. That one hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For our age, just remember, we're not that kind of station. Creeper.
All right, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. That's coming up here in about, 10 minutes. Night of Champions tonight. Obviously, his insight on a lot of the locals. He coached Jarek Reed. He knows Jordan Bird and Keyshawn Banks well. They're going to the NFL. So we'll talk to Danny coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We're going to get you some stuff from out at the PGA Club Pro Championship. Golf Channel's in town for the next bunch of days, and some of the best club pros in the country are trying to qualify for the PGA Championship. They're out at Twin Warriors out at the Santa Ana Pueblo, so that's a big deal. And how about some Lobo baseball over the weekend? They needed to sweep Fresno State. You know what they did this weekend? They went out and swept Fresno State. It's kind of a big deal, huh?
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was a
themselves a chance.
Walk off yesterday, and keep that thing going. So they've got an opportunity still to get in the conference tournament. It's only the top 4 teams. It used to be, at some point, it was everybody got in. Now it's the top 4 teams. They're sitting in 4th place right now. I want to go through the quarterbacks, and it's an easy one when you sit there at the top and you look at it, say, okay, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, and then, I mean, I'm not as sold as many are on Anthony Richardson at 4. For a team that needs somebody now, I just don't know that you got somebody for now, but okay.
They need somebody. It doesn't matter if it's now or not.
And that's fair, and that's why they did it. I like where Will Levis landed in the second round, Tennessee. Well, I think
style of play should benefit them.
I think it allows him to grow. I might have been a little surprised it took him instead of Hendon Hooker, being Tennessee. I mean, a Tennessee quarterback.
Yeah, but it's with Hendon Hooker, I think there's just a belief that you want to give him this year regardless to sit. And I think Tennessee's kind of at the point where, like, hey, if Will Levis goes out there and beats out Ryan Tannehill, we'll cut and or trade him. Get that 35-year-old money off the books for the final year.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he ends up where? Somewhere. Right? I mean, he'll end up being a stopgap for somebody.
And this is, I was actually
Indianapolis.
going through this last night.
Yeah.
Because these mid-round picks on quarterbacks, I think sometimes they just kind of feel like, okay, whatever. Like it's third, fourth round pick. But these guys end up like starting NFL games. Like you can't just pick a quarterback mid-round and think it's a throwaway pick. Because you go the last two drafts before this one, I went back to 2021. And the last quarterback picked in that draft in the sixth round.
What year?
In 2021. So I went
2 years ago.
Yeah, so 2 years ago. Because these quarterback picks absolutely matter, even in the mid round. Like you don't want to just have a throwaway pick, like a third or fourth round pick on quarterback. But in 2021, the last quarterback selected was sixth round, 218. It was Sam Ehlinger. Dude ended up starting 3 games last year.
Yeah.
Like then you look at Davis Mills was a third round pick. Dude has 26 starts on his resume. Yes, it's a bad Houston Texans team, but like these things matter. Then you go to last year, and we don't think of it as a quarterback draft at all because it was Kenny Pickett and then no one until the third round. But you look at Desmond Ridder, the dude started 4 games, and he is the de facto quarterback one in Atlanta. You go to the 5th round, Washington selected Sam Howell. The dude has 1 start, and he's going into the season as their QB1. A 7th round pick, Skylar Thompson started 2 games for Miami, and then we know the Brock Purdy story. So the quarterback selections outside of the first round, they don't get the buzz. They absolutely matter because these dudes end up playing.
No, look around the league, and not even just from the 2021 draft, although I didn't know all that. That's pretty amazing. So you got probably 35 starts out of maybe not that many, probably 25 starts out of guys 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th round draft picks from 2021 that went last year. So they were second round or first round guys, right? It's pretty startling. No, they were first round guys. They were first year guys. They were 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round.
And even someone like Bailey Zappi in last year's draft, 4th round pick, ended up starting 2 games for the Patriots as well.
So that takes me to Stetson Bennett in the 4th round. I'm so conflicted on this because Stetson Bennett won. There's part of me that screams Brock Purdy and part of me that screams Tim Tebow. You know what I mean? I look at him, and here's an undersized guy that, man, he makes the throws. He's pretty mobile in the pocket. He is proven to win. He's got a quick release. He can change arm angles. But
he's got a PR problem. It's not just an offseason DUI after everyone forgot how to live after winning the national championship on the Georgia roster. But there's a lot of talk that, all right, Stetson, yeah, you're a national champion, but you walk around thinking you're the number 1 overall pick all the time.
Well, the NFL will humble you. Yeah. He'll get humbled the day he walks on campus to the NFL. 5'11", smaller quarterback. He's behind Matthew Stafford. All right, Danny Gonzalez next, global football coach. We're going to talk about what he thinks of his defensive back, Jarek Reed, getting drafted into the NFL. A couple other guys that he knows really well. Big night for Lobo football tonight as well. Catch up with Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez next and ask him what he thinks of the fit for Jarek Reed in the NFL with the Seattle Seahawks. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bond.
Now, what a weekend, huh? What a weekend. It's just to watch the draft and just, I don't know how you all felt when you, if you're a Lobo fan or if you're a local fan, maybe you have a tie to some of these guys. But when you saw Jarek Reed's name pop up and you saw, whoa, he got drafted. Like, if you know him at all, and I'm not going to sit here and claim to know him well, but have spent some time at media days with him around the Lobo facility and then after games, he represented UNM football really, really well. Like the way you want a guy to represent your program, and you know how hard he worked, and to watch him get drafted, I don't know. How'd you feel? Because wasn't there kind of a little warmth that ran over you when you saw that?
Yeah, it's someone that in the interactions we've had, you just such a good, genuine dude, worked hard, playmaker on the field, and then you see the video that he recorded with his family around him saying, Seattle, I'm coming, let's get to work. And it's just an awesome moment.
I love when good things happen to good people. And I think he and Jordan Bird, who's going to the Steelers as a free agent from Manzano High School, Rio Rancho's Keyshawn Banks going to the Packers. Both of those guys they're New Mexico Aztecs, basically. Danny Gonzalez is the head football coach of the University of New Mexico, knows all three of those guys very, very well. And he joins us this morning on a big day for Lobo football. Good morning, Danny. Happy Monday. How you living?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, guys. We're living great. It was a great weekend. Thanks for having me on.
How'd you feel when you heard? Did you learn it like we all did, or did you know before that Jarek was getting picked?
Getting calls. I got calls from Ethan Banda, the DB coach at the Cleveland Browns. I've known Dan Quinn because of DeMonte Casey being at the Dallas Cowboys. I talked to him. I talked to Roy Anderson at the Seahawks, and I knew Jarek was going to get drafted. I got that really big feeling around the 5th round. I was surprised he didn't go in the 5th round. And then when Seattle picked him, I thought it was a great opportunity and was super excited for him and his family.
So I think it's a great spot for him because Pete Carroll and the way they built the Legion of Boom, and I think what he's proven as a NFL coach in Seattle is he's given guys chances, and they've made their living on guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. That's how that great defense, that Super Bowl defense was built, and it feels to me that he's got a chance to go in there, and it's perfect. What do you think about the situation for him?
No, I agree. I mean, when I talked to him on Saturday after he got drafted, I told him, it's your opportunity to go create the new Legion of Boom. And Jarek is a very, very confident young man, not arrogant, just very confident. And he works his tail off to get himself in position to be successful in everything he does. He did a great job training for the pro day and for the NFL type stuff that they do, which drives me crazy because you can either play or you can't. And they were able to figure that out by tape. And now Jarek just has to go out there and prove that he's everything that they want him to be.
I always think, and you watch the draft, you see, Alabama, Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Ole Miss, right? The teams that are high profile have 20 guys, and I know 20 is exaggerating, except for this year it's not. But when you're on a 2-10 Mountain West team, it might be harder to be seen. Do you guys as a program have to do more? Does his agent, coaching staff have to do more to get a guy seen? And because I think sometimes you can have a really good football player on a 2-10 club that probably should be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick that slips to 6th or 7th.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, what Jarek did in 2020 during the COVID season really put himself on the map. And then he got better and better every year. Now, the guys that come through, the scouts come through our building, they watch tape, they ask about who they are as people and all those things. We were better on defense, and it was recognized because of the leadership that Jarek displayed out there. And those are the kind of things that really helped him through this process and to give him this opportunity. But obviously, if you win more games, you have better players, and they want to come around and see how you are winning those games. When you're 2-10, he has to beat the odds, and he did.
Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us this morning on the opening drive.
And Danny, you talk about Jarek's mindset and his confidence. And, when you're a late round draft pick, you might have to do different things. You might have to earn your way onto the field as special teams. There's talk maybe even working him at nickel. So his versatility, how big is that going to be at the next level?
Well, he was a corner in junior college. We turned him into a safety. He played both our Wolf and our Lobo spot at times. So he has experience doing all 5 positions in the secondary, which is invaluable when you get to that league. And the nickel that you talk about is basically another corner on the field. I mean, they need a guy that can cover a guy in the slot that's super twitchy and really athletic. So Jarek fits those molds. But the best thing is he has the tape to prove it on our game tape.
Of course, the focus on Jarek Reed and is awesome for this Lobo football program, but we did see 5 Mountain West players drafted, a ton of guys getting camp invites, and you've been in this league for a long time. Just what do you think when you see that many Mountain West guys getting the opportunity to go at the next level? Because I think it just continues to speak to what this league is.
I think we have a great league. I think we have a very talented league, and there's going to be guys, a lot of the undrafted guys, and I think Jeff said this earlier, a lot of times when you get past the 5th round, you really kind of don't want to be drafted unless you get in the perfect situation like I believe Jarek is, because with those undrafted free agents, if they have a good agent, they can pick their spot where there's veterans that are probably on their way out, or there's younger guys that they think they're better than. I think the Mountain West has a bunch of those guys that can prove to get in that league because we do have a great football league. Jarek, it's great for our university. It's great for the Mountain West. I mean, only 5 picks in New Mexico, having one of them is a big deal. But Jarek is a good player, and I knew that from the time we got here. We had a little bit of a headbutting deal because I want him to do things a certain way, not change the way he plays, but just everything to build him, to give him the tools to go in there and take somebody's job. And I think he has that now, and I'm real excited for him to move forward.
He's Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez with us on the Sports Animal this morning. 2 New Mexico Aztecs are going to camp as well, guys that played a big part in getting to San Diego. Jordan Bird from Manzano High School with San Diego State had a terrific career, as did Rio Rancho's Keyshawn Banks. Jordan's going to the Steelers. I think it's a nice opportunity there. And Keyshawn's, I think, got an opportunity with a Packers defense that needs some help and maybe in a place where they're looking for some young guys like this. Your thoughts on both those guys who I know you know very well?
I'm excited for both of them. Both Jordan and Keyshawn have been using our indoor facility and have been training, doing a lot of their NFL training out here in Albuquerque, which was really cool to be around those guys again. I think Jordan, I mean, he has Zach Gentry, who works out in our facility also, the former Eldorado star that's a big-time tight end, just signed his second contract with the Steelers. So that'll help Jordan get adjusted a little bit with another guy from Albuquerque that'll take him under his wing. And then Keyshawn, he's big, he's fast, he's twitchy. All he needed was an opportunity. And I think he's going to go in there and make the Green Bay Packers very happy that they gave him a chance to come and compete.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? It's kind of fun when these guys that you watched, and I know you know them, we all got to watch these guys from, we all watched Keyshawn play in high school and watch what Jordan did, and we're just amazed by his speed and what he did. And to watch them grow up and mature and get this opportunity, it's just, I know I said it earlier, and maybe it's sappy and I don't really care. I am emotional that way, but it gives me a warm feeling when these guys get a chance. I love when good things happen to good people, and I think these three young men really are that.
I agree with that. And I mean, if for everybody that was at the 2019 New Mexico Bowl, I mean, Jordan Byrd was an MVP, and Keyshawn Banks had 2 sacks in that game. I mean, they got to display in front of their hometown crowd their abilities, and they're going to get an opportunity again, but this time it'll be either on Fox or CBS because they'll be doing it on that upper league.
Yeah, I was at that game. I kind of remember 48-11, I think was the number. I was there that day. All right, a big day for Lobo football as well. I was telling Stephanie about this, the Night of Champions, and this is what you guys have. And she's like, did they just bring that back like a couple months ago? And it was a year ago when you brought back the Night of Champions. And this is a big deal, I know, for your players and for your program, and one of the highlights of the off-season training program.
It really is. And it actually started with Coach Francione back when I was a player in the early 90s. And it's been going for a long time. We weren't able to do it for COVID. We had to do it outside a couple years ago. And last year was the first year we put it back in the weight room. Now we have a beautiful new weight room. I'm a creature of habit. Those guys have been training in the old weight room, and I don't want to call it old, the current weight room that we've been using. So we're going to do the Night of Champions in there so that they can be familiar with the same atmosphere. Now the new Champion Training Center will be open so people can walk through there and check out what a beautiful new building we have. So come on out and watch. I mean, you're going to see like Andrew Henry, one of our running backs, going to squat over 600 pounds. Luke Wyson's going to power clean over 300 pounds. I mean, we have a very strong football team, and I have not been able to say that over the last 4 years. But we've got a very strong football team that I'm excited for people to come and see them compete tonight. It's the end of the training season of the weight room and off-season during school. Then we'll go into a break. They'll get about 3 weeks to rest their bodies, and then June 5th will be here. And 127 days from today, we're going to be playing against Texas A&M, which is going to come faster than people can imagine.
The public's invited, and they can come out what time?
Yeah, it's going to be at 6 p.m. Come on out. Come on down about 5:30. You can walk through the new New Mexico Mutual Champions Training Center and then get a seat on the bleachers and watch these guys compete. It lasts about an hour and a half, 6 to about 7:30. The more weight they lift, it could go a little bit longer, but everybody's welcome. We'd love you to come and see a different side of our football players. You can actually see their faces. They're not behind face masks and all those good things, and get to know who they are. It's going to be an exciting time, but 6 o'clock tonight in the Todium building.
Danny, what's the vibe like between the players leading up to this night? Sure, when it comes to competition, any competition, these guys are all in going at each other.
They are. They all want to lift more weight than the next guy. There's some records on there that have a chance to be broken. I mean, if Andrew Henry can squat 615 pounds tonight, he'll set the running back record. Those are some pretty cool things. And those guys, they compete against each other, which helps them get stronger. And then they just want everybody on our team to succeed, which is really cool to see. I mean, between both sides of the ball, they've really come together. We've done a lot of good things. I mean, they were playing dodgeball on Friday morning, and we had some athletic guys that it was fun to see. Now we have some guys that cheat, too. They say that the ball don't hit them, but it is what it is. You're not cheating or trying, I guess. They want to compete to win, and they'll be out there doing that stuff tonight.
Yeah, riddle me this, Batman. How do you know when you – I don't want to say getting old because I don't feel old, but you've been around a little while. So you're talking about the brand new weight room. When I got here in 96, the Todium had just been built in 95. It just opened, and the Todium building and the weight room there was like the state of the art. That was the brand new thing. And I guess that's 26, 27 years ago now, huh? It's crazy.
It was real crazy. I was a freshman 30 years ago, which means I am old. I helped when I was a freshman. We had to carry all the dry erase boards up the stairs in those buildings when this building was being open. I mean, Dennis Francione and Toe Diem did a great job of fundraising to get this building built. We've done a great job of maintaining it.
Yes.
It's still one of the top 5 facilities in our league, which is outstanding. And then the new Champion Center really adds to that. I'm really proud of what we've got. I'm more proud of our football team and where they're at right now. And there's a lot of excitement going into next year.
All right, lastly, league meetings this week in Scottsdale. From your perspective, when you sit with football coaches and the new guy running the whole football thing, John Sullivan, All-America, University of New Mexico, the new associate commissioner in charge of football, what's the biggest issue for you when you guys get together in Scottsdale this week?
Well, we'll talk about some of the new rules they just implemented, the changing of the clock and how they're going to do that on first downs and things like that.
Explain that, because I don't know that people understand that, and to me this is a big deal.
Sure. So currently right now, up until this year, after you got a first down, the clock stopped, and they did not restart the clock until the chains were set, everybody was moving forward, and then they'd restart the game clock. You're going to cut out about 6 to 10 plays a game, which they're trying to do for TV. They want to shorten the game to about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Well, the offensive guys are going to get their plays in, so you're going to see a lot more people go super, super fast to try and get those extra 6 plays. But they say it's for safety of the game. It's really to help with CFP expansion to get the games. They can get more games on TV, more marquee games. They're not doing less commercials, or they're not doing side-by-side commercials. So little things like that. They talked about doing it after the ball on an incomplete pass. That got shut down because now you're going to eliminate about 25 plays a game. The NFL and they've kind of mastered, so we're taking some of their models. Now, under 2 minutes, they'll still stop the clock on a first down and wait till everybody's set before they restart it. But you're going to eliminate about 6 to 10 plays a game per game on the year.
Yeah, and I know a big part of it's TV because, and especially Mountain West package, right? A lot of your games where you start that 8:30 game or 7:30 game, and they're joining you 6 minutes into the quarter because the game behind you went long, and so they're trying to. I know that's a big part of it. All right, Night of Champions tonight. You're invited. It's free of charge. It's 6 o'clock. Get out there at 5:30. It's a pretty impressive show. Watching these young men just move a bunch of iron. You can go through the new Champions Center. Is that what it's called? The what's the exact name on it?
New Mexico Mutual Champions Training Center. So it's really it's got all kinds of signage and lights. It's where we're going to actually enter the field with some LED stuff. I mean, it's really cool. We've got new LED lights inside the stadium that we can turn off and on touchdowns and things like that. So it'll be really exciting to see.
All right, have fun out there tonight. Safe travels to Scottsdale. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
We'll see you out there. Thanks for having me on, and look forward to everybody coming out tonight. Thanks. Go Lobos.
Be well. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. I think it's cool, and I know some of you are going to say no, that the local guys were training for the NFL in the UNM facility. Are you good with that?
Yes.
I think so too. I think so too. A few things he said in there that are actually really interesting. And when we get back, I want to talk to you about the process, right? That whole process of talking to the scouts and how they come in and want to know about the players. That's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke.
It's a big night out there as they wrap up this part of training. I always, and I meant to ask him this when we went a different way. You ever, like when a coach calls, a scout calls, or tell me about this young man's character. I see him on tape. But what's he like? Do you think a coach, I mean, their reputation's on the line. How honest do you think, right, coaches are? Got to be pretty honest, right? If there's a kid that's kind of a jerk, kind of a knucklehead, kind of an a-hole, you kind of got to be honest with the scout, don't you? Because it's your reputation on the line.
Yes.
Right?
There's a reason that not every one of these guys that's drafted, they say they have impeccable character.
Yeah, I think that's right. I always wonder how honest, and and it would depend on the relationship probably you have with that scout, that coach, that team, and certainly that player. But I mean, I don't know. There's guys, JJ, and typically the guys that you bring to media day, the guys that you put, you make available for the media, and UNM's been, maybe the right word, more strategic about this. Would you say players have been less available? Like any player that we've wanted on the show, no matter which sport? coaches have been available, but we've wanted play. We wanted. I think you and I enjoy talking to players more than we like talking to coaches. Not that we don't like the coaches. Like, please understand that. Like, I love having Danny on every Monday during football season and his accessibility. When he called today and said, I'd love to, do you want my thoughts on this? I think it's invaluable. I love talking to Jerry Kill. I love talking to Richard Pitino. We're going to have Todd Brown, the Lobo baseball coach, is going to be with us at 9:30 today after their big sweep. But players, to me, I think, maybe because we hear coaches so much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's a part of the process too. Even as a student athlete, it's something you need to learn.
I agree with that.
Is speaking to the media, understanding how to do situations like that, because it can be valuable. Because if you do have an opportunity to go play somewhere else, go be a professional, that's a different atmosphere, different questions.
Yeah, and there's some sports at UNM where it's just hard to get players. And we can get the coach, but just the players aren't available for whatever reason. Maybe that's the coaches, whatever. And look, I'm not knocking it. It's just I always just think it makes your program more connectable. Does that make sense, Steph? I see. Right, when you hear the coaches are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to talk to the coaches.
But you talk about you can hear the coach all the time.
Yeah.
During a season.
Well, they do,
pregame,
7
post-game.
interviews a week.
In one game, there's a pregame interview and a postgame interview.
Yeah. Well, if you think about what a coach does, think of a football coach during the week, right? He comes on with us on Monday. He does his press conference on Tuesday. He does a few other radio spots, 3, 4, 5 of them, right? And then after that's 5, or let's just say after practice is 6, pregame is 7, postgame is 8. He's doing 8 long form interviews. How much do you want him to say? And we all want to talk to him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Please. But when you hear from a player, it's just a little different perspective. And sometimes it's a little fresher and more raw, unrehearsed. Because coaches are going to tell you what they want to tell you. Like, coaches are really good. Pick your coach. Who was I having this conversation with recently? They're gonna tell you what they want to tell you. Yeah. At post-game press conference, it doesn't matter what you ask him. He's going to tell you his point of view. He's going to get what his point is, right? And normally, JJ, they're on a theme, right? Come Monday, kind of the theme that on this show is the same theme that they've got in the press conference. Is a theme throughout the week, right?
Yes.
And I got nothing against that. The players just seem to be. I don't. How the hell did I get on this anyway? But yeah, anyway, that's why
I wonder if they get scared though, like the school or something. Like, we don't know what they're gonna say.
I think
Can we be held liable?
No, I think there's a piece of.
And it's their job to do that.
But then again, they should probably hold a course just for.
So I think they do. I think
they
there's
do have
sessions.
a media,
I don't know if there's a whole
like
course, but I think there's sessions.
Like a thing, like how to handle yourself in front of media and all the tough questions.
I think they do. I think they do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and look, there's. I'm trying to find the right way to say this. I don't know that this town's got a lot of that, but there's certainly media who are looking to do what they want to do, right? I mean, I think one of the reasons we've been able to do this for coming up on 15 years is we'll ask the question, but I don't think we're looking to ambush anybody. I think we've been pretty fair, right? But there's a lot of people, not necessarily in this market, JJ, who might not be very fair, right? Who might be looking, have an ulterior motive. And I think that there's a big, I mean, you guys have gotten themselves in hot water, and ladies have, in press conferences everywhere, right? Brittany Griner held her press conference the other day, and they asked one question that all anybody's focused on that I've seen coming out of that is her response to transgender athletes participating, right? Everybody just, boom, latched onto one thing. So 505-246-0610. All right, here's what we're going to do the rest of the day. And actually, we're going to do a lot of different stuff today because there's a lot of different stuff going on. Lobo baseball swept Fresno State over the weekend, which now puts them in position they're in that 4th position, and the top 4 go to the conference tournament. So Todd Brown, they're based. I don't know. We should talk to players, but we got Todd Brown coming on at 9:30.
And so much for that in rant.
Yeah, that's who was offered, right? I mean, again, this is the way it is. 9:00. We're going to go out to Santa Ana Star, or the Santa Ana Pueblo and Twin Warriors. Derek Gutierrez is the director of golf and general manager at Twin. So this is the PGA Club Pro Championship. The best club professionals in America are in the metro area. They're out at Twin Warriors this weekend. You can watch it on Golf Channel. This is that tournament where they all go in the top 20 qualify to play in the PGA Championship. And we've talked about guys over the year, right? David Muddett's been on our show a number of times, right, JJ? When he's qualified and, there he is playing on the range next to Tiger and playing practice rounds with Jason Day. And so that's how big this is. So the golf world's focus this week, they were in Mexico. Your boy Tony Finau won this weekend, by the way. Good win for Tony Finau. Got it done in Mexico. But we're going to talk to Derek on the impact. And if you want to see some insanely good golf, you can go out and check that out at Twins. We'll do that coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. So that's all there for you. When we come back, I know the audience completely turns over. We're gonna revisit a historical performance last night in the NBA. The best that's ever been statistically from a scoring perspective at a Game 7 ever in the NBA. So what does that mean for that guy as far as the all-time lists? We're getting into that next on the opening drive. I want to tell you about International Protective Service. IPS watches my home, like daily, not just when I'm away, but every day International Protective Service comes by. I see Officer Crespin on a regular basis come by my place. I'm out doing yard work. There he is, and we talk for a while. He tells me about what's going on. When I go away, when I travel, they do exterior checks. They're by multiple times during the day, in the middle of the night, making sure everything's okay. If I have a package dropped off, by the way, Addie's cleats did show up. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Not going to be when I'm gone. But you get a package dropped off, they pick that up so the porch pirates don't get it. They just give your home that lived-in look, and then if your alarm goes off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security officers. This is affordable private security because property crime's on the increase and officer shortage continues to be an issue. Response time is an issue. IPS takes care of all that for you. Call them and get the peace of mind. Protect what you've built so hard to build. And protect your home. Protect your family. Protect your business. International Protective Service, committed to our city and your protection. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
050. Never been done before in Game 7 of an NBA playoff series. Never. Which boggled my mind. 47 was the record for points scored in Game 7. Did you know that going in yesterday? I mean, if I'd asked you what the record, if anybody had ever scored 50 in a Game 7, you'd have said, yeah, somebody probably did. Right? Mike, LeBron, Wilt, Russell, right? Kareem.
Someone.
None. Until Steph Curry did it yesterday. Stephen Curry took over the world yesterday. Stephen Curry took 38 shots, made 20 of them, and scored 50 in a decisive, blatant, dominant pounding of the Kings. Young Bucks, the 3 seed. Do you know this for the first time ever? Let me give you another first time ever. I love first time evers, right? I live for this. I've been doing sports my whole career, my whole life. I've watched it forever. If you look at the Western Conference playoffs, there's 8 seeds once you get into the main bracket, right? 10 get in, and then they play in tournament down to 8. Do you know what's left in the West? 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and no, that's not right. And that's not right because one's still there. The other side is out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You got the bottom of the tournament. You got 7, 8's the only one that's it. It's 1, 5, 6, and 7. It's insane, dude. 1, 5, 6, and 7. Never happened.
1, 4, 6, and 7 in the
1,
West.
4, 6, and 7.
In the East, 8, 5, 3, 2.
Yeah. It's just play them. It's like in hockey now. Just play them. We had a conversation earlier, and I don't expect that you would with us in the 7 o'clock hour if you're with us now, but appreciate you being with us now. By the way, whenever you're with us and however you contribute, we are insanely appreciative. Glad you're here. Love your contribution every single morning. Thank you for spending time with us, because I know you got a lot of places that you can be, and it means a lot that you're with us. I've never seen somebody that size take over games consistently. You can tell me Allen Iverson, you can say Steve Nash, and you're right on both of those accounts. But Steph Curry's been doing this for 14 years with different carnations of that club, with Kevin Durant, without Kevin Durant, when Klay Thompson's shooting well, when Klay Thompson's not. But here it was, Game 7, and this was in many of your minds, and I say yours because I know there's a few of you that, yeah, this was it, man. They're done. They're old. They got their championship last year. That was their goodbye, their walk-off. And here come these young Bucks and the Kings. And look, I'm not telling you they're going to get through the Lakers. This is going to be a tough putt to get through the Lakers. But what I saw yesterday was a dude at 34 years old saying, hey, hold my beer. I'm not done yet. And while everybody counted them out, they lost Game 6 at home. Everybody's not fair. But you'd say the majority, right? The majority of people were on the Kings yesterday? Talking heads? Twitter peoples?
They were favored in the game.
They were favored. Vegas was on them. Steph Curry went out and scored 50 in a 20-point win on the road. Oh, by the way, this was a team that couldn't win on the road, remember? Oh, they can't win on the road. They can't win the playoffs. They can't win on the road. He scored 50. No one in the history of the game has scored 50 in a Game 7.
His three-point shooting is just
insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's reinvented what three-point shooting is. But see, that's where people, I think, get lost, Steph, because he's the best shooter. This isn't an argument, right? He's the best shooter in the history of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Pete Maravich stuff, and if you want to go back and show me the black and white video, I'll look. This guy's the best consistent long-range. He reinvented long-range shooting. Dame Lillard's good. Yeah, no, he is. I'm not telling you there's no other good ones. He's the best. But, Steph, if you watch it, he's getting to the rim. He's 6'2". He had 7 field goals, 7 3-point shots yesterday. He had 13. He had 22 points in the paint yesterday. Okay? Do you know what that means? He had 22 points in the paint. When I tell you guys in the paint, you think Shaq, Kareem, right? That's what you're thinking. Now you're thinking Embiid. You're thinking Looney on putbacks. You're thinking Anthony Davis. Dude, this is a complete game now. This isn't just a shooter. He is a phenomenal, not just point guard, one of the best players we've ever seen.
And the conversation, like Steph Curry, to me, could be number 2. And he's
number 2 all time?
No, not all time, but just this era, the last 10 years.
So you think he's better than Durant?
I think it's an absolutely fair conversation.
I do too.
Durant, yeah, he's a physical freak. But Steph Curry has done just as much, if not more.
He's done more
than Kevin Durant.
He's done more.
And I think Steph Curry has passed Kawhi Leonard. Just availability, that happens. You have more on your resume. Mm-hmm. And there's always going to be players that are straight up better, more talented, that leave us wondering what if. And Kawhi Leonard is going to be one of those dudes. But Steph has the availability, the track record, and I think last year's championship helps elevate him.
No doubt.
Past just the Kevin Durant years.
No doubt.
They won before and after KD. He's the focal point. He's still the dude that's setting the tone. And it's not like it's still, oh no, Steph Curry's 29, 28. No, it's 34. Like, he's put in his time. He's played a ton of NBA games. We talk about mileage on legs, minutes. He's overcome his injuries in his career, stuck with a franchise that they pretty much took 2 years off because of injuries. And they were able to reset and come back at it. It is ridiculously impressive. His efficiency is the game changer. The dude, okay, he took 38 shots. He hit 52% of those shots.
Yeah. Here's where I'm going to send out the bat signal a little bit. I want your thoughts on this. And the 377 Brewery hotline is 505-246-0610, and that's also the text line, the Sports Animal text line, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Does his stature, right? He's not the dominating LeBron stature. He's not that physical freak stature of Kevin Durant. He doesn't have that insane athletic ability that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan had. But yet he's in that conversation now. 6'2", 6'3". He gets his shot off whenever he wants, and he can't shoot over anybody. He gets to the rim, JJ, I mean, basically at will. He's a creator. Does his stature, when you have the conversation of where you place him all time, does it help him or hurt him? Meaning, well, yeah, but he's not as dominant as those guys. Or is it the fact that he's not as dominating as those guys and he's as productive help elevate him? Because for me, that makes it more impressive. That makes what he's doing more impressive. He can't just physically overpower dudes like LeBron James. He can't just physically glide around and over dudes like Michael Jordan. He can't just physically shoot over people like Kevin Durant. But yet, he's as productive as pretty much all of them, right?
Yes, he is.
To me, and this is my opinion, that makes it more impressive. I never thought I would say this because I have Kobe, you know, when we have these conversations, to me, Kobe and I mean, Magic gets left out of this a lot, and I think Magic should be in this conversation too. And some of you will tell me Bird. You know, when we have the LeBron Michael conversations, I think Kobe is in that conversation. I know I'm in the minority. Steph is right there in the Kobe conversation, isn't he? I mean, he's got to be right there with where Kobe is. And I know it's sacrilege, especially Laker fans.
He has the resume, the body of work, the clutch performances, doing it on the biggest stage in the biggest games.
It's what I saw is insane. How's Jimmy Butler doing? How do you feel about that ankle? He basically was a decoy for the last 5 minutes in the Heat's win over the Knicks, 108-101. If he can't go, man, they can't win, right? But he's going to go. Like, do you have any doubt he's going?
Like, that's you lose Jimmy Butler, of course that's going to change the series even more so than Julius Randle not being in the lineup for the Knicks.
There's no way, right?
Without Jimmy Butler, if he's unable to go for game 2, that's a coin flip game, because then you're just matching Bam and then Brunson, and you don't even think the Knicks would have the advantage then if RJ Barrett can continue to play at a high level.
Yeah. All right, love your response on that at 505-246-0610. Just how you look at that. When we come back, I got a target date for you for an NFL schedule. That's your next big date on the NFL calendar, right? You just have the draft and 5 things that are being reported that you can already put on the calendar. That's coming up 9 o'clock. Derek Gutierrez. We're going to talk about the PGA Pro Championships. All the best club pros in America are out at Twin Warriors this week, and why it should matter to you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sports Animal. I will get to it in May. I'm not going to tell you exactly when, but in May. Maybe the 11th. Maybe. Yeah, it's May. By the way, is today May 1st? Happy May Day. May Day, May Day. May Day, May Day. OD, AM. Hi, Steph. She's in for Anne-Marie today. I do have a text that says, where is Anne-Marie today? Did she try mayo in her coffee and get sick? Aha. So, have you ever tried mayo in your coffee, Steph?
Not that I recall. Maybe back in my drinking days, but no, not lately.
Whoa. So in your drinking days, you would put mayonnaise in your coffee?
No, I don't know. I probably
I mean, that would be
wouldn't.
the only reason to do it, I would imagine.
I don't know. I listened to that segment of your guys's, and I was thinking there's got to be some kind of health benefit with the eggs and I don't know.
I don't think there is any. You just did it.
And now it's kind of his thing.
Thing.
Yeah. All right. NFL's next big move is their schedule release. See, they own the world, if you didn't know that. The NFL owns the world. And so, maybe May 11th, whenever we get around to it. So look for it coming up here in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. But here's a couple things that CBS is reporting. Here's what they know. The opener will be that Thursday night after Labor Day, and it'll be in Kansas City. And so we don't know who they're going to play, but here's the options because we know who's playing who, where. We just don't have dates. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, Bears, Lions, and Eagles. So they have great games. That's how about that home schedule for Kansas City? So they get the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, because that's their conference. Their non-conference home games or non-division home games. Bills, yes. Bengals, please. Dolphins, absolutely. Bears, all right. Lions, yep. Eagles. Do you play a Super Bowl rematch on opening night? Or do you play, or you haven't played the Bills? It's going to be one of those two, right? Which one do you like for opening night?
Super Bowl rematch.
Kind of like it too, but then they're hoisting their rings against the team that I'm going to guess it'll be the Bills. That's where I'm going. All right, home teams set for international games. So there's going to be 5 home teams for the international games, whatever that means to you, home teams. The Bills, the Titans, the Jags, the Chiefs, the Patriots will host games overseas. So New England and Kansas City each get a game in Germany. The other 3 teams will play in London. There's one report that's been suggested the Chiefs will play the Bears. So that take the Bears off of your opening night thing, which I already did. Monday is going to change a little bit. So this season marks the beginning of the new media contract, which has some changes. So 2 of those changes will involve Monday night games. Not only will there be 3 Monday night doubleheaders this year. You ready for that? This sucks for fantasy football. Do you know that? it just, your guys are hurt and you don't know who you're, which there were 2 last year, but there will also be, they're going to be able to flex Monday night games starting in week 12. So, they flex Sunday night games too, right? So if they don't like the game on Monday, they can flex into a better game. So you get better matchups. I think that's good. At least for the viewer, it's good. It sucks for you if you have tickets and you're driving 8 hours on a Sunday and all of a sudden your game gets put on Monday. That's a bummer for you. There will be a Friday game this year. Do you know that? NFL wants to move into Fridays. It'll be the day after Thanksgiving because Amazon's got the rights to that Thursday package, and they don't get a game on Thanksgiving, so they'll get a game on Black Friday. It'll be November 24th this year. Just the 12th time the NFL has played on a Friday since the merger. Eagles-Giants, by the way, is the leader in the clubhouse to play on Black Friday. It's another week that really screws with your fantasy football because you got everybody's hurt by Thanksgiving, and it's a big game for you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, and every home and away opponent for all 32 teams is known. We don't know the time and date, but we know who they all are, so you can look that up. That's what I got for you on the NFL schedule. And then you'll have it, and we can go, oh, my goodness, look at the schedule's out. The schedule's out. And it's like, well, okay, the schedule's out. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, you just said people.
They love it.
It's for planning purposes, too.
I know.
It's for fantasy football purposes, too. We love football, Jeff.
Fantasy
Deal with it.
I just, when the schedule comes out, do you look at it and just go, okay.
That's when you start looking at over-unders,
really?
Win total. Absolutely.
Over-unders fair. Win totals, yeah. All right, some of the best golfers in the country. Best PGA Club pros are here. 20 of them are going to be playing the PGA Championship. 312 of them are on Twin Warriors. Golf Channel is going to be televising it all week. I'm going to introduce you to that, tell you why it should matter to you next with Derek Gutierrez, the director of golf at Twin Warriors on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bob.
So this is a pretty big deal, man. This is the second round of the PGA Professional Championships going on at Twin Warriors today. This is the Club Pro Championship with there's 312 golfers here. The top 20 will move on to play in the PGA Championship. Like the PGA Championship, the next major, the one where, you know, all your big names, pick your name, John Rahm, and Tiger might even play. He does every year. This is a big deal. Golf Channel is here, televising it to the whole world. It looks beautiful out there. And this is something, if you're in the golf world, you need to be there and watch some of this and understand it. And if you're not in the golf world, I think it matters to you, and I'll tell you why as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Steph, we'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. This is not something that just comes together, though. This is years in the making, and one of the best of the business is the guy who's the general manager and the director of golf out at Twin Warriors and Santa Ana Golf Club. Derek Gutierrez is with us this morning. Congratulations, my friend, on having this thing come together, and it looks beautiful. How you living?
It's great to be on the show. Thanks for always making time for me. And you know a little something about – it was a great lead and a little something about big events and the preparation that goes into it. And so, it's a great testament to our team here. We're doing well and just really excited to be showcasing the Pueblo of Santa Ana here in New Mexico on a world stage, and so it's great. How are you all doing?
We're good, thank you, Derek. This is tremendous. I've been telling people this is kind of like even if you're not a golfer, it's a quality of life event, right? So whether it's a bowl game or a concert or a Broadway play, or this is a national stage, national caliber event. Why should people care? Why does this matter to New Mexico?
Well, so first and foremost, I'm a big proponent of the, growing the game of golf, and no one better to do it than the PGA member brand. We're doing it all over the country, the 41 sections. To have 312 of the best, the most talented men and women golf professionals from all over the United States here is just simply tremendous, and it's just a wonderful testament to what the PGA does. And I think you hit on it a little bit. So, you're seeing people that work and live in the industry every day. We're not on TV playing every weekend like the John Rahms of the world, but nonetheless, the top 20 in this event will go on to the PGA Championship at Oak Hill in May, in Rochester, and play one of the four majors, the second major of the year, obviously following up the Masters, and that's just amazing for 20 of our members to get on TV and some potentially make the cut, which they've done in the past, and maybe even getting that top 25. So wonderful opportunity. And to watch it, we have 289 volunteers, which I'll talk a little bit about later, or to come out as a spectator and just watch. It's golf at a very high level on our two tremendous golf courses.
And Derek, we've seen it at the local level. David Muddett's a good friend, and he's qualified out of this tournament 3 times and gone on to the PGA Championships, and just the experience. And I've talked to him at length about it, what it means to these guys. These are guys, to your point, that are club pros. They're good golfers. They grew up in golf, but they don't get to play every day. Some of these guys get to play once a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? But they prepare for this. This is their Super Bowl, and then if they get, for the other 20, it's their World Cup, right?
Exactly. And so, pressures, it's all the same, right? You've got a guy on the second stage of Q School trying to make the tour and make a living. It's the same for us passing that player ability test to get into the business, or here to make a check and make it to the next level. The pressure's the same, and they feel it the same as those guys putting out to win a major or one of the weekly PGA events. It's tremendous and really fun to watch.
Obviously, you talked about the growth of the game in the PGA Tour, and if you're able to have an event like this, if you're able to showcase the state, but put on a good event that could lead to opportunities in the future. But how important is it, to be able to show the world and show the PGA that this state has the courses and can be a player when it comes to multiple events, even moving in the future?
People that come and visit, and great point question. The people that come and visit here for the first time, and Jeff can probably attest to this too, are like blown away with what we have to offer in the terms of golf courses and hotels and casinos and restaurants and all the things that go with hosting this. And so with that, I just think that our golf courses being broadcast on TV, again, just show the world that New Mexico should be considered a top destination for golf. And I'm going to share the love. We've got Sandia Golf Club down the road, Paco Ridge, you have TOA, you have UNM Championship Course, you have Isleta, just unbelievable golf along the Rio Grande corridor. And so we talk about it all the time when we're out and about and travels, and so you need to come visit. And just spot on, great golf here.
I'm going to give you testimony on that, Derek. And I know a few years ago you hosted. There's a vendor that I work with at the bowl game who does our patches every year, and he's got a group from Texas, and they travel. They go on Abandoned Dunes. This year they're going to Florida. They're going somewhere in Hilton Head, I think. But they came out here, and you guys took care of them about 3 years ago. I saw him in Nashville 2 weeks ago, and he still was talking about how great that place was, the course and the accommodation. So, 100% what you're saying is right. They had no idea what they were getting into, and they fell in love with it. And that's why you guys do this.
Yep, it's great. And we our branding, we're adjacent to the town of Bernalillo. We're just up the road from Albuquerque, down the road from Santa Fe. And everybody always, it's like, no, this is Santa Ana Pueblo, its own destination, and we market the you-know-what out of it. And representing my 900 tribal member owners, this is where it's at. And we just love getting people here. Once we get them here, they come back, and for same reasons you talked about.
All right, for people who want to go out, and experience it, right? It's about showing it off. It's about these guys and ladies who are in, and there's the 312 golfers, but this is an opportunity now for people who love this game or maybe just love events to go out and really experience something fun this week.
Yeah, just no tickets needed. Just show up. Santa Ana Golf Club. Today's the last day at Santa Ana. Then the final 2 rounds will be at Twin Warriors. Just show up, bring some bottled water and a cap, sunblock, and just come out and watch golf. What I like to do is watch, the waves go off the first tee and then go sit behind 18 and watch people come in. But they are welcome to walk the golf course. It is a little over 7 miles tee to green, all 18 holes. But just cool to see the golf, the competition, and the Golf Channel compound here at the resort, the Hyatt Regency Resort, our partners. We've got a Golf Channel compound on the property, and it's pretty awe-inspiring to see the towers and all the equipment and everything, the leaderboards and everything going on. So we invite everyone out. We'd love to have you.
At Santa Ana, which is 18? Which because you've got the 3 9s. Which one's 18?
The final 2 rounds are at Twin Warriors.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to go out today to Santa Ana.
Oh, Tamiya China, of course. Yeah. The Tamiya and China 9s, the ones you mostly play in our events, corporate outings, things of that nature. That's the competitive 18 here today.
Yeah, and then when you go out to Twin over the next couple of days, it's easy.
China 9, China 9.
Yeah, and then 18 at Twin is nice because there's like a little seating area. It's almost like a little bowl, right? You can sit up on that hill and watch people come in. It's I mean, I'm going to guess it was designed for this.
It was designed for spectators to kind of just have a seat and watch play come in during competitions. If they want to bring a little small chair or something, that's always welcome, and plenty of room to watch players come in off the 18th.
Is there a website info people want to keep track of it, or just get any info that they need on it?
Yeah, if you just go to mynewmexicogolf.com, which is our site, you can see all the information there. And then PGAofamerica.com, PGAofamerica.org will get you to the site for the competition, live leaderboard, starting times, all of those things.
Proud of you and Zach and that whole team out there. I know how hard it is to put on events of this scale, and I know how long you've been working on this, and I know how much work goes into it and how many people and volunteers and how the ups and downs, and it never goes as planned. And now here you are, and you found 8-9 minutes for us. Proud of you, Derek. Good luck. Congratulations on it. Have a great week out there. And if we're not there, I'm certainly going to be watching on Golf Channel. So.
Well, and to your point, really quick, if I can add, we've got 140 associates out here that are incredible at their craft, and 9 PGA members that are better than me at what we do, and makes it easy. And as you know, support teams critical in some of this stuff, as are volunteers. So thanks so much for having us on.
Surround yourself with good people. You'll look good, and you look good.
It's great stuff, man. I appreciate you all.
Be well. Derek Gutierrez, he's the director of golf and the general manager out at Twin Warriors and Santa Ana Golf Club. This is huge, you guys. So this is what, and even if golf's not your thing, right? That's cool. This is that quality of life event, right? You get pick your show that comes to town. Hamilton's coming to town, or there's a big concert, or a bowl game, or pro soccer or pro baseball, or this is the kind of thing that just adds, the USA Indoor Track and Field Championships. So all those things, man, that's what makes towns vibrant and grow and move and helps the economy. All these 312 people are staying somewhere. They're eating somewhere. They're traveling in. They're spending money, right? And the eyes that are going to be on Albuquerque, Santa Ana, Pueblo, New Mexico. That's what this is about. And I know Derek. I've known Derek for a lot of years. I knew Roger, who worked before him, and Zach out there. They do a great job, man. That place that's a world-class facility. It really is. And we're really lucky to have stuff like that. And have you seen any of it? Like, have you ever watched, when David was in it, did you ever watch some of the broadcasts? They do a great job on Golf Channel.
Yes, they do.
So, all right, I'm going to reset you at the top, or when we come back, and go through some of the weekend's highlights, including the draft stuff, the NBA over the weekend, and 9:30 this morning. Todd Brown's going to be with us. He's global baseball coach. They had a basically season-saving sweep, didn't they, over the weekend?
Put them in great position to attack the final 11 games of their season.
So we'll talk with him. That's coming up at 9:30. Hey, summertime kind of felt like it came quickly yesterday, didn't it? There was no spring. Santa Fe, I was up in Santa Fe this weekend. It snowed on Friday, and it was 70 on Saturday. That's New Mexico. It's travel time. It's road trip time. So call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and be ready for summertime. So before the kids are out of school and before you start those summer trips, get your vehicle ready. So what does On the Spot Automotive Detailing do? Well, they come to you and detail your car. They come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, and they detail your vehicle inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats. Like, this is what all the car lots do. When they're done, your vehicle is going to look and feel and smell brand new, ready for those family vacations. Look, you're probably going to have that vehicle for a while. Used car prices are really high. So are new car. Protect your investment. Ask them about a fresh coat of wax or ceramic coating for extra protection. Schedule now. Our military gets a 10% discount as always. 505-859-2859. That's area code 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the one animal.
We're back. All right, we're back. Hold on. Sometimes I like to sound like TJ because I don't know why. All right, we're back. All right, hold on. Why are you laughing at me? Because you're over there all the time? Steps in for A. Marie today. Jeff, JJ, and y'all at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's how to get to us today. Would love to hear from you. You got the NBA stuff. Steph going for 50 last night. The Panthers, the Florida Panthers thing, even if you're not a hockey fan, historically, sports-wise, that is bonkers, beating the Bruins. The Bruins were the best team in the history of the NHL's regular season by stats. Ousted in the first round in Game 7 in overtime by a team who barely made the playoffs. Like that's going to be like one of the biggest disappointments in the history of sports, no?
You can't even advance to the first round when you're the best team in regular season, one of the favorites to go to the Stanley Cup. You lose that game at home, down 2-0. The Bruins were early. They come back, take a 3-2 lead. Florida ties the game with a minute left in regulation, and Boston could not reset. They could just not get any momentum back after that.
It's insane. All right, Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Jeff and family. How's everybody today?
Everybody's good. What's up?
Yeah, Jeff, you can ski in the morning and play golf in the afternoon over here, right?
It's one of the greatest places in the world, man.
One of the, oh gosh, I just love my community, bro. I was out in Chaco Canyon yesterday, and my Lord, it is so beautiful out there, bro. The most beautiful desertscapes. But hey, Jeff, my 20-month-old grandson Xander, he's already got a better swing than I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With his little plastic club, But that's not saying a lot. Jeff, this is huge, man. This is huge. What's going on out of Santa Ana and Twin Warriors? I mean, don't say that we don't get big events over here because, man, this is big. And team sports are not for everyone. Like all the youth, team sports is not for everyone. And I'll tell you a little story. I have a friend that his grandson was going and watching his little friends play basketball and soccer and all that, and he wasn't really into it. So he took him over to Top Golf, and the kid cannot get enough of it now, man. He wants to go out every weekend in the afternoons, and like I say, this is the perfect place to develop some new young golf stars. And like I say, team sports is not for everyone. So when we put this kind of an event right in front of the community, take the kids out there. Let them watch these guys that are true professionals, man. They know how to play the game.
Yep.
And just to get the feel of being out on the grass and being out in the open, and I don't know, it's a great game. I'm not worth a darn at it, but I sure love trying. And I think it's a big, great event, Jeff.
Good stuff, Dan. No, appreciate you. Thank you. And you can't be more right
man.
on. When Nick was on with us, Nick Nee is the director of golf at San Diego Golf, and he's with us every Friday. We were having this conversation, remember last Friday, about youth golf?
Yeah.
I went out, I play on a Sunday group, and I played with somebody yesterday that I was just telling you about this. He's a 10th grader, 15-year-old out at Volcano Vista. His name is Isaac Coda. Unbelievable swing. Big, tall, young man. I wish I was that flexible. I wish I had that swing. I think he's a 6 handicap. I want to say, I might be wrong. I think he shot like a 77. It was, could have been better. His dad, Fred, is the golf coach out there. So they played with us. JJ, and he's like 3rd or 4th on his team. And I'm watching this young man hit the ball a mile. His short game's impeccable. His demeanor's great. Like, I had no idea the depth. Remember I was telling you, I rattled off like 5 or 6 names the other day, right? With Nick. I had no idea the depth. Like, this is, I guess, Volcano is Cueva, what I understand, I learned a lot yesterday, is really deep, and then Volcano's good. But this young man, 3rd or 4th on his team, finished like 10th at Metros, and I'm watching him hit the ball a mile. He's a 10th grader. I mean, there's good young golfers. Get your kid in golf. You going to bring him out to the Cubs?
That's right.
Get him some golf clubs? Maybe he'll love it. He'll have a better swing than you.
Oh, easy.
All these kids do. Steph, it's hard, man.
It is hard. Remember, I was making fun of you at Steelbender because you were trying to do the lessons. Yeah. And yeah, it is hard. I tried the Top Golf thing. My kids are better than me, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, the guy that I was with at Stu, that was kind of he knows, he's a hell of a golfer now.
Oh, okay.
That guy's a hell of a golfer. He was helping me. All right, I got a deal for you. Latavius Murray. Does this matter to you? This is a little NFL news. Any NFL news matters, right?
Yes, it does.
He might be on your fantasy roster. You want to keep him. Latavius Murray signed a 1-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. So there you go. Didn't they draft a running back? No. Did they not? Did they sign a running back? What else do they got on their running back? They got James Cook
and Devin Singletary.
All right, so they could use a Latavius Murray. All Latavius Murray does is produce. No matter where he is, all he does is produce.
That's what you do. Veteran guy, 1-year deal, bring him in.
And he produces. So that just happened.
I like what Buffalo did in the draft. You're getting Dalton Kincaid, flex tight end in the first round,
Cowboys.
And one of the top interior linemen in the second round, Osiris Torrance from Florida. So what you do is they're reinforcing their offense, just one of the best in the NFL. And it's still in the AFC, top of the AFC. You get into those games with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals. Not just about stopping those dudes, because that's going to be hard to do. Got to keep up with them.
How'd you like the 5 guys your Denver Broncos got? Because they didn't have very many picks. They get Marvin Mims, a wide receiver, which surprised me that they went with another wide receiver, but which tells me they're getting rid of one of those two, right? Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy got to be on the move.
Feels like one of those guys could definitely.
But it sure as hell felt like to me that they had more needs in finding another wide receiver, didn't it?
Yeah, that's one you're just like,
what are we doing?
You're looking at Sean Payton, and that's kind of this offensive luxury selection, it feels like, for the team that they got a lot of work to do, and part of that is figuring out what can you get out of Russell Wilson, what can you squeeze out of him, mold him at this point in time in his career to just be an effective quarterback when there's so many flashy dudes in the AFC right now. I do think they got a steal in the 3rd round. Drew Sanders, standout linebacker from Arkansas, is actually a highly recruited out of high school into Alabama, transferred to Arkansas. They've done a good job the last few years of finding guys in later rounds defensively, and I think he can be an impact player for them. And they only, like I said, it was tough because they moved a bunch of picks for Russell Wilson. They used a 1st-round pick to acquire Sean Payton, and to me, Drew Sanders, like him, I think he's going to be the standout in this draft. Got a Boise State kid, J.L. Skinner, going in there.
Safety, yeah.
A 6th-round safety. But Sanders stands out to me in the Mims. It's one of those things you said. Does it signal something happening with either Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton?
It has to, right? For them to go early like that, there's got to be something that in the works. Cowboy fan, how you feeling? Mozzie Smith. People really seem to like Mozzie Smith. In the 1st round, you get a defensive tackle who can make some noise. You get a running back late in the draft. So, you got your tight end in the 2nd round. You got Luke Shoemaker from Michigan. So Deuce Vaughn is interesting. Is he really only 5'5"? 5'5", $179? As a running back in the NFL, like, it feels like he's going to get broken. But he's been pretty durable. He's a threat after the catch. He's got speed on the outside. He's not going to be your bell cow. I mean, Tony Pollard's your bell cow guy, but I got to believe they'll bring in some free agents too, because I think that's where you can find some running backs as well.
That's, can you make it as a returner, occasional 3rd down guy? Well, the story there is his dad, Chris, is a
how cool was
scout on the Dallas Cowboys, and had the opportunity to actually call his son and tell him that he was getting drafted.
That was so awesome.
Would you like to come work for me? Yeah, that might have been the moment of the draft.
As Deuce was actually
come to work with me
big-time
on
player.
Monday,
Yeah.
and all the tears start coming.
Yeah, no, that might have been the moment of the draft.
Yeah, Deuce was actually a very good player at Kansas.
No, a really good player.
Just, you're right. It's small.
I mean, like they're small and then they're small, right? All right. There's nothing small about what Lobo baseball did over the weekend. Lobo baseball needed to sweep Fresno State to get themselves into contention for a spot into the conference tournament. Lobo baseball swept Fresno State, coming from behind yesterday with a walk-off victory. We're going to talk with their head coach, Todd Brown. What does that mean? Did they finally got this thing? Well, not finally. They got this thing turned around on the right path as they hit the stretch of the schedule. Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach, next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Rogers is real.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding.
A few weeks ago in the college baseball schedule, but it was a big weekend out at Santa Ana Starfield. Lobo baseball needed to make a move. Top 4 teams in the conference will go to the conference tournament. Lobos sweep Fresno State and are now 10-10 in conference play, 22-17 overall. Kyle Smith with an RBI single in the 10th to complete the sweep of the Bulldogs. And Lobos are on a little bit of a roll now. They get the Aggies tomorrow, and then they will go to Vegas and play a set with the Rebels. Still on the schedule as we head down the stretch is that set with the Rebels. They've got a home series with Nevada and another Aggie game in there, and they'll finish up at San Diego State. So that was an important series. Head baseball coach at UNM is Todd Brown. He joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Todd. How you living?
Well, it's Monday, and we enjoyed a good weekend, and now it's on to the Aggies tomorrow night. That's one thing about baseball. I've never understood football coaches. You know, if you have a good game or you lose a game, you got to wait another week to play baseball. It's like, let's play every day.
Yeah, how long do you get to enjoy that sweep? Because that was such a big weekend for you. big numbers. You score 16 and 17 in the first two games. Normally on the last game is when you see the numbers. Yeah, the pitchers bear down in the last game, and you get a big clutch hit to come from behind and win that one. How long do you get to enjoy it before you start saying, all right, here comes the next one?
Well, kind of our rule is you get to enjoy it until midnight, and when your head hits the pillow, it's on to the next one. So yesterday was really a big game for us. It really came down to, fourth and fifth place being in the balance. But the big one that many aren't talking about is the tiebreaker. If you end up tied with Fresno State, it goes head-to-head, and now we have the tiebreaker. So it's almost an extra game.
It's 2 games.
Yesterday's game was worth really 2 games, because if there's a tie, we have the advantage. So they have to do – not only are they a game behind us, but they're down in the tiebreaker, so they're really 2 games behind us.
Yeah, and so the urgency, and I guess you looked at it here, right? I mean, you start looking at the standings, and there was so much talk about it with the urgency, with only 4 teams getting in, and knowing that you're going to close out at San Diego State, and that's the leader in this league right now. That's what made this sweep so important, and it come from behind in the fashion that you did yesterday to win against kind of a desperate team was a big deal for your club.
Yeah, it was a really big deal. And, the tone of the weekend was set. We're down 9-0 going into the bottom of the third, and to come back and win 16-10 was a big, that does percentage-wise, it just doesn't happen very often. And then really got after them on Saturday, and knowing that Sunday that we were going to get their best effort. Their pitcher was really, really good, and I thought our pitching was excellent. And it was a battle, and we both had opportunities after opportunities, and finally we got the big hit at the right time.
Now, Todd, we always think about offense when we think about the Lobos playing at that field, playing at the altitude. But what have you thought about your pitching staff this year, the moments where they've been able to battle through, lock games down at the end, and get you through those moments that you need it?
Yeah, and that's the key to baseball is the game is really decided in the 6th and 7th inning. And why I say that is usually your starter's starting to run out of gas and facing them for the 3rd and 4th time, which is very difficult to do. And then how much can you dip into your bullpen? How much do you have available that day? Because if you go to your closer too early, he runs out of gas, and then you have nobody behind him. So for Isaac to, get deep into the game gave us a chance to not overuse our bullpen and really gave us a really good shot to win that game.
Global baseball coach Todd Brown's with us this morning on the Sports Animal.
Well, speaking of that, your offense, they still have to produce, and I think that the level of consistency has been unbelievable this season. Look, 337 team batting average, but you got some mashers on this squad. How has the development been of the offense just to be able to have that consistency in the lineup?
Yeah, one thing that we've been talking about, 2 things that we've been trying to focus on is better pitch selection, because usually when we don't have a good day at the plate, it's because we're swinging at pitches that really nobody can put in play hard. So better pitch selection, but also trying not to be so home run dominant and reliant. If we're not hitting home runs that day, we've got to find other ways to score, and that's something that we're trying to do, is trying to mix in a hit and run. Yesterday we got a sac bunt down late in the game, which turned into an infield hit because they didn't make the play. We're trying to steal bases, push, drag. When we go up against a really good pitching staff like Fresno State was, we've got to find ways to score other than just waiting around for the 3-run homer.
But yet you hit 3 home runs yesterday.
Yeah. We did. And the day before we hit 7 home runs, and that's why we beat them 17-7. But there's been plenty of games I could circle, 6-8 games where we didn't hit any home runs and really struggled to score because the wind was blowing in. We're at a ballpark where the ball doesn't really carry, those types of things. And so we're just, we have, and we're trying not to overthink it too. If you look at the Mountain West batting leaders, 4 out of the top 5 are Lobos. So we're just run that lineup out and just turn them loose and see what happens.
A few more minutes. Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach, is with us. Hey, Todd, what have you learned about pitching here since you got here? I remember when you first got here, we had a conversation about pitching. And for me, I understand that altitude is real, but pitching is pitching to some respect. The other guys have to pitch here too, right? And I know guys don't want to come here and they're afraid of their numbers but location is location, and you just talked about smart pitch selection. What have you learned about pitching at altitude that maybe you didn't know when you first got here? And I put that in the context of watching the Giants and Padres play that series in Mexico City where the ball was just flying out in the big leagues over the last few days.
Yeah, obviously we're trying to look for guys that have some kind of funky, either an off-speed pitch or extra sink on their ball, a different arm slot. And sometimes one thing I did learn is it doesn't matter how hard you throw, guys in this league can hit it. And, we have guys that are throwing 92, 93 miles an hour, and if they don't have a breaking ball that day, they get beat up pretty good. And so having that second pitch to keep them off your fastball is mandatory. And that's pretty much the case everywhere, no matter where you play. Here, because our field is so big, there's so much room in the outfield. There's a lot of hits that drop simply because of the size of our outfield. And, you got to have you basically have to have 3 center fielders out there to cover that ground if you want your best defensive team. The other thing is I'm finding that guys that are very successful are either above hitting speed or they're below hitting speed.
What does that mean?
And hitting speed for us is in college baseball is 88 to 92. That is perfect hitting speed for these guys. And so if you're above that number, you usually can get your strikeouts and a lot of swing and miss. And some of our guys are having successful, like Arthur Steinkamp really saved the day for us on Friday. And he's kind of below that, left-handed and kind of below that with some funk, and really kind of created weak contact and a lot of swing and miss.
And he's talking those numbers are miles per hour on the pitching. All right, I'm going to let you answer this one because sometimes I get emails that I don't really know how to answer, or sometimes I don't want to. So Gene asked me, Todd, comeback or choke? He said, Jeff, I'd argue Fresno blowing a 9-0 lead after 2 innings Friday was more Bulldogs falling on their sword than anything Todd Brown's guys did. I don't know. You might feel differently. Was that a comeback or was that a collapse?
Well, the way I look at it, if you score 16 runs, I think that's a heck of an accomplishment. I think we had 18 hits, 16 runs, and this is Friday. This is their Friday night starter. That guy is an all-conference pitcher, and we got to him. And then every bullpen piece came into that game was their best bullpen piece, and we beat them up pretty good. And I think it's a heck of an accomplishment by our guys because you look at those pitchers that came in and pitched, their numbers and what they're doing against the rest of the league, they're pretty special.
I would guess you don't have to apologize for anything. Just a minute or two more with Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach.
Todd, when you look at the conference this season, it's really tight. The Aztecs 12-7, San Jose State 13-9, Air Force 14-10, and then what you guys were able to do to beat 10-10. What have you learned, seen from the conference this year?
That it doesn't matter if you're first place or last place. Every team is legit, and every team can beat anybody. This conference, usually when every conference that I've been in, even in the Pac-10, back when I was a player and coach, and to the Mid-American Conference, to the Summit League, year in and year out, there's always 1 or 2 teams that turn in and they're at the bottom. And there are teams that they lost a lot of players at graduation or they had injuries, whatever the case may be, but they're just not a good team that year. And then they rebuild, and from there, in this league, there is no easy weekend. Everybody is more than capable of beating each other, and a record like 20-10 will probably win the league every year simply because it's a tough league, and there's tough places to play, and we're right in the thick of it, and we're going to see what happens the last 10 games.
Next up, the Aggies tomorrow night, 6 o'clock out at Santa Ana Star Field. You can get out there and watch the Lobos then. They'll be on the road playing at UNLV over the weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and back home for their final homestand in league play against Nevada. That'll be on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Todd, congratulations on a good weekend. Always good to talk to you. Be well.
Thanks for having me on.
Take care.
Take
Todd
care.
Brown, the Lobo baseball coach. That's a big weekend. I mean, no matter how you look, that's a big, big weekend. And he's right. With the tiebreaker now, the one game lead over Fresno State is a 2-game lead. Lurking right behind them is UNLV at 8 and 13, so they've got some games at hand as well. But getting the tiebreaker on them is a big deal. All right, everything you got to know as you hit the work day today, your water cooler talk, and everything that happened this morning will headline you when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Star Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination.
Monday, Denver. We haven't even talked about this. Denver Phoenix game 2 after a game 1 domination by the Chicky Nuggets.
Bubble Murray. Watch
He
out.
was terrific. Boston Philly game 1 of that series. You get a game 7 in the National Hockey League if you like Rangers and Devils. I mean, I don't know. The 2 game 7s last night were beyond entertaining.
Hockey is dead to me.
I kind of feel the same way, but I don't.
Done.
Like when the Kings got knocked out Saturday night, I really was bummed. Like it was like, ah. And then we're flipping around last night. I'm like, well, babe, like we're FaceTiming my mom and my nephew and Addie and I are watching the hockey. And when Florida scored, it was like, yeah. They're like, what are you watching? And kind of try to explain it to them. They're like, yeah, whatever. And then the Kraken and Avalanche was, I mean, I know it ended the wrong way, but were you not entertained?
It was very entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
One goal game, 7-game series. Seattle,
7?
tip of the cap. It was, they won 3 or 4 in Colorado, outplayed them the majority of the series. They did. It's a credit to the top line for the Avalanche that it was so good. Did you get a bunch of coffee grinds?
Yeah, dude. I got
Here. That hit me last time. Someone messed up the coffee in the break room.
Damn.
You
Full
know
of
what it
coffee
is?
grinds.
It's because they didn't get the right size filters, and so they're the tiny filters.
Yeah, but I got to travel and wear the shirt today.
Okay.
Ah.
Go cold water.
Ah.
Yeah, coffee grinds is
Dude.
something else.
Why?
Not quite a
It's a
chocolate
Monday.
covered espresso beans.
Ah.
That's
all
not the same.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah.
I got to go home and change. Like it's all over me.
Mhm.
Oh, man. I can't even tell you how chafed I am. Ah!
We're doing it live.
I know. I can't speak with coffee grinds all on my face,
I
though.
know.
And I'm really trying not to laugh at the situation, but I
Ah!
feel you.
Well, that's a bummer. Do I have time to go home and change? I got to go. No kidding.
Peace out.
Ah, sorry about that.
Needed
I
to-
just took a sip of my coffee and it was all grinds. Ah. All right. How about the Nuggets, the way they handled game 1 against Kevin Durant and the Suns?
Very impressed. Very impressed, especially with how tight that series got at the end against Minnesota. And people are like, well, is this Nuggets team have it? Are they that good? Phoenix Suns are coming in, and they dominated game 1.
I mean, dominated game 1. So how about Bubble Murray? You say Bubble Murray, people are like,
Okay,
what does
so
that mean?
This goes back to when the Nuggets made the Western Conference Finals. It was the COVID season when they played the playoffs in the bubble in Orlando. And when the Nuggets were healthy and you saw Jokic and Jamal Murray, they're a team that was able to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And Jamal Murray had a couple 50-point games in that postseason. They had some crazy comebacks when they beat the Clippers. And now that he has put the ACL tear behind him, he has a year plus back on the court. He's confident, and he is that scorer that we saw in the bubble where this team is a legitimate threat and a contender. And I get it. We get LeBron James, Steph Curry, and that's going to be fantastic. And the storylines in that series are awesome. But keep telling me that it's, Kings Warriors is Western Conference Finals. Warriors Lakers is Western Conference Finals, and keep overlooking the Denver Nuggets.
Well, everybody overlooks the Nuggets, and Kevin Durant's response was so right. He was asked afterwards, are you surprised by the way they came out and handled it? He's like, no, man, they're the number 1 seed. They got a 2-time MVP over there. Like, I think the people in the game understand it. The networks don't want to understand it. Fan doesn't want to understand it. But I think the people who are in the game understand what's going on. They're the number 1 seed. Like, yeah, Jeff, so was Milwaukee. I got it, man. Being the number 1 seed doesn't make you invincible, doesn't mean you are going to win, but I think it means you get the respect of your opponent.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin Durant knows what's up. The Phoenix Suns know what's in store. This series is far from over because of how good Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are. They're going to get buckets. They're going to score points. Denver was especially efficient from 3-point range, so you know that there's going to be a little regression there. This is going to be a long series. These are 2 really good basketball teams, but it was a really big statement because of how the first round series against Minnesota ended. Nuggets won it in 5.
Little
The
lackluster,
last couple
right?
games, like Minnesota was there pushing them overtime in a couple of those games, and you're just like, my goodness, are the Nuggets that? And yeah, they got pushed by a team that got really hot at the right moment in Minnesota, and nice little statement game 1.
All right, let me read you a couple of your correspondence. Kentucky Derby Week, Jeff. I think JJ agrees with me on this. This is the week of the second most overrated event in sports next to Army-Navy football, in my opinion. For the next 5 days, these 20 horses will be hyped like global basketball recruits, the best thing ever. Then just like global basketball players, Sunday they'll start entering the transfer portal and we'll never hear from them again. Okay. You might not be wrong. I can't get these grinds out of my mouth, dude. It's just, you ever just, it was like a whole swag of grind.
That was a chug.
And it's like,
it's everywhere.
All right, Maurice said, most desperate team is the Space Cowboys, Jeff. The season's no longer early. Next month, we hand out state tournament berth. And for Sugar Land, losers of 5 consecutive games, the comeback has to start this week. That's Isotopes in Sugar Land. Jeff, in the words of Shaq, Queens will always be Queens. It's a Hammer Monday. Glad she's here. We're all glad she's here. Dan says, I disagree with Bradbury. You might remember last Friday at the end of the back end, 9:30 hour. Mike Bradbury was with us. Global Women's basketball coach. Dan says, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, no Ana Maria y regresando gato Estefe. The OD often asks, who are we doing this for? I think Thursday/Saturday games are better for the fans. This year, I know folks that drove to Laradice Thursday for that contest, hung out in Denver Friday for the early post at Colorado State Saturday, then drove back, were sleeping in their beds before midnight. Boom, 2 games in 3 days. Moving the games to Wednesday, and now you need to take extended time off from work and school. Not going to be fan friendly. How many people travel for college basketball? Like, you're on the road. You how many people actually travel? Global women's basketball fans travel. You probably see parents. Do you see like fans just making road trips for women's basketball?
It's not enough that you would change the schedule. If that makes sense. Like the other way, either way.
Rod says the change in the OD, Jefferson, the OD callers used to argue about which local players to recruit by putting together a caravan, just like Rudy C. did to Lovington for Taylor Domzalski back in the day. Now all I hear about is mercenaries, and I hate it. You can hate it all you want, Rod. I'm not sure I love it either, but you got to get used to it. Or find a new sport. James said late Friday interview with Bradbury, Jeff, in the closing seconds of the show, Bradbury slipped in 2 new signings this week. I never had a chance to respond, but I thought the Lady Lobos were out of scholarships. Can the voice verify, JJ?
I cannot verify
that they're out of scholarships.
He said they got 2 coming in, so they got 2 coming in.
They'll find room. I can't get this out of my mouth.
Needs a mouthwash.
Seriously. Lobo Hobo said the OD Heatles, led by Steph Cat with Jeffrey and JJ. All right, are the Heatles. Ron says, I was so jealous, Jeffy, listening to Matt Malloy at the end of Friday's OD. That's nickname. I was looking out of the window. By the way, I just got a call from Matt Malloy. And seeing snowflakes while getting a call from someone in northern Minnesota saying it was 71 and they were headed to the golf course. Yeah, but how did your weekend turn out? You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to get these coffee grinds out of my face. Thanks to Derek Gutierrez, Danny Gonzalez, Todd Brown. All of them guested on our show today. It's a good Monday, huh? Steph, thanks for being in today.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Very much appreciate you. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Jim Rome show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way. At 4 o'clock, we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. What, you want to start at 7 a.m. tomorrow?
Let's do it.
It'll be 6 for me. But I'll have coffee that doesn't have grinds in it. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.